Duck Donny. Pok Pikachu Pok Pikachu Pok Pikachu. Duck Donny. Pok Pikachu Pok Pikachu Pok Pikachu.
Oh no, it's repeating again. There we go. Should be fixed now. Yo, what up, Donnie? What are we working on today? Oh.
Duck Donnie. Working on a GitHub pages React app RN.
Working on a GitHub pages React app right now. Ooh. I like React. Speaking my language over there. I like React. We are all ready for this course. About halfway through. Stopped on do while loops. It's actually pretty impressive how far we've made it so far. What do you need? Minding my business. Well, Donnie, I think it might just be only you in the chat today. Just a heads up. Unless we get somebody new.
Hi, Donnie.
Play says hi. Might have heard her in the background. Oh. Oh. Thank you, Rook. Thank you. Rook. Not Brook. Rook. Virtual Rook.
Can't blame me.
I messaged Rook last night, and I was like, sorry, I know that this is late, because it was like going on like 10 o'clock. Like, I'm sorry, I know this is late, but I ended up taking your advice and actually started up coding streaming of learning the code with me. And I actually started to pick that up, and he just messaged back. So I was like, thank you, Rook. Alright. Donnie, we need to think of a question. Think of a question for end of stream.
Duck Donnie. KK, I don't know how active it'll be exactly today in the chat, but it'll stay tuned in watching the code while I work.
You bet, bud. You bet. Not an issue. That means we can power through some, and then, you know, stream won't be as long if we're powering through it. A lot of it's talking. Ooh. Alright. Well, let's get going, shall we? So, we got do while loops. There is another loop similar to the while loop, which we learned about yesterday. The difference between a do while loop and a while loop is that the do while loop first executes the code inside the loop once, then starts checking if the condition is true on the other iterations. The while loop tests the condition before running the code even once. A do while loop will always execute the code inside the loop at least once. In a while loop, if the condition is false, from the beginning, the code won't ever get executed. The syntax looks like this. We got do, and then we got curly brackets where we put our code, and then we have the while. So, you know, this is the while part, where we throw in the condition. So, for example, let result equal just a blank string. Let next digit equals 0. Do, And then we open up our curlies. Next digit, we're going to add 1 to next digit. And then we are going to let result equal result plus next digit, while next digit is less than 5. And then we're going to console log the result. So the output of this code will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to keep iterating through until it reaches 5. The challenge for this one is you are given a number called num. Using a do-while loop, print all of the numbers smaller than the number until you reach 0. Use a do-while loop, or you will fail some test cases. Print the numbers with a new line in between console log. Adds a new line in the by default. Surely we're gonna need to turn that down. It's gonna go way. No, it's gonna go way down. Thank you. Okay, so we're given. All right, we are given a number called num. So, you know, just like with the other one, we're gonna have a result. We're gonna have a counter. And then we're gonna start our do while. Okay. So we are going. So you're given a number called num. Use a do while loop. Print all of the numbers smaller than the number until you reach 0. So we reach 0. All right, using a do while loop, print all the numbers smaller than num until you reach 0. So that's to go up. Okay, so that's. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I think I see the solution here. So what we're going to do is we're going to increment our counter by 1. And then instead of adding, I think we're going to be subtracting here from our counter for result. No. Yeah, from our counter. And then start our while. If counter is less than result. So if our counter is less than result, loop again. I could be wrong here. We're gonna full send. Then we're gonna console log our result. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, so We got -1. Alright, let me think here. So we're counting backwards instead of forward. Okay. We didn't use num at all. We didn't use num at all. Alright. We relied too much on the example. Alright. Counter equal num. So if we let the counter equal num, which will be 7 here, subtract 1. Subtract 1 from it, and then let result equal no. I think we're still off here. The -1 from counter, that would make 7, 6. And then our result would equal counter, which equals num, while our counter is greater than result. And that may cause it to... No. Okay, so we only got -1. Today might be a lot shorter at this rate. Alright, let's go back
Duck
through.
Donnie. Yutski sweat.
A little bit. Sweating a little bit here. And my vape's gonna die too. Okay. So we're trying to count backwards. Okay. I feel like we're fine here. We'll rely a little bit more on using some of the example. Okay. Just to kind of help with the terminology here while using the example, so there's not any confusion. Alright, so the issue is that if we increment next digit in its current state, if we increment it by 1, it's going to go from 7 to 8. No, I think we still have this wrong. Let next digit equal 0. We're still going to add it. So we're still going to increment next digit, which will turn next digit into 1. And then what we're going to do is result equals result minus next digit, which would be 7 minus 1. Goodness gracious. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to save everybody's ears. I'm trying. Okay, so add 1 to next digit would make next digit 1. Result equals result minus next digit. So it would be 7 minus 1. While next digit, which would be 1, is less than result. And then we would console log the result. That felt so much better, and it's still wrong. That felt better, and it's still wrong. Yeah. What did I do wrong? Output was -1, which means that next digit did not increment. Why didn't next digit increment? Maybe I'm doing this backwards.
Duck Donnie. You should be console.log in the loop.
You should be console log in the loop.
Duck Donnie.
I also didn't pass a num.
ITLL need to be before you change the var.
We didn't pass a num. Again. Result is just 0. What if we let result equal num? Would that work?
Duck Donnie. You don't need result in this prob.
Yeah. So num here. Alright. So add 1 to next digit. Num equals num minus next digit. While next digit is less than num. Console log result. Isn't console log in there? In the loop?
Duck Donnie.
Nope.
Nope.
Really? So it needs to be in the do part, huh?
Duck Donnie. Hence why it only prints once.
That's why it only once. Well, what are we console logging then? None?
Duck Donnie. Also next digit is not needed here as well.
Really?
Duck Donnie. Only number is and console.log is required.
Hold on 1 second, huh? Well, what would we do in the while loop then? If all we have is num. The gloves?
Duck Donnie. You print then decrement number and check as long as number is greater than 0.
Donnie, you're a madman, and this is why I need you. That thinking outside of the box, man. You got it. Okay, so we're gonna decrement num, and then we're gonna console log num while num is greater than 0. And repeat. So we don't even need this console log
Duck
result.
Donnie. Console.log needs to be before number is changed.
Really? True. Because we need to start at 7. I think that's part of it, at least. You're a madman. You're a madman. Sorry, I'm trying to grab my vape charger here, get my vape on here. How satisfied are you with Coddy? For the most part, very satisfied. I just How can we improve? Unlimited run codes on free plan. I'm going to the Kingdom of Dorkshire to say I only have one of my moms. There's gonna be so many people confused over there. They have no idea. It's rehearsal time. Rehearsal time. You are given a number variable called marks. We did this before. We did this with our if-else statements. You are given a number variable called marks. The value of the variable signifies the marks that some person scored on a test. Print S, print A, print B, C, D, F. Student has failed and invalid marks. Or it wasn't for loops. It was, yeah, if else.
Hi.
Yeah, if else. If.
Duck Donnie. Challenge, do it in one try.
Do it in one try? I remember how many issues I ran into last time. If marks is greater than 90, and marks is less than or equal to 100. Sorry, we're doing it this way. I won't use the switch statements. That's not happening. Not yet. Console log, S grade. Else if...
Duck Donnie. Switch makes this one more difficult anyways.
Oh, really? Else if marks is greater than or equal to 80 and marks is less than 90, then console log A grade. A grade. Else if marks are greater than equal to 70 and marks are less than 80, console log B grade. Else if marks are greater than 60, marks are less than 70, console C grade. Else if marks are greater than 50 and marks are less than 60, definitely not 69, 60, console log B grade. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 40. And marks are less than 50. Console log F grade. Else if marks are greater than equal to 0 and marks are less than 40, console log student has failed, else console log invalid marks. No, not with that. Not with food. Pretty confident in it. A challenge accepted and challenge passed, Donnie. Oh. All right, for loop logic. Now let's move on to the for loop. For loops are used much more than while or do while loops. Their syntax is a bit more complicated, but we'll explain them step by step. Now, Alright. Where were we? Syntax is a bit more complicated, but we'll explain them step by step. The syntax in JavaScript looks like this for statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Insert code here. This is what that statement means. Statement 1 is executed one time at the start of the for loop. It's the first command executed once the for loop starts, and it's executed before the code inside the loop. Statement 2 is the condition for executing the code in the loop. It's the same as the condition in a while loop. For every execution of the code, the for loop checks the condition. If it is false, it stops. Statement 2 is the second thing that gets checked after statement 1 is executed. Statement 3 is executed after every iteration, aka after every time the code inside the loop gets executed. It is the fourth thing that gets executed, the third being the actual code inside the loop. The chain of commands would look something like this. Get to a for loop in the code, execute statement 1, then check the condition in statement 2. If the condition is true, execute the code, and then execute statement 3. Go back to step 3. If the condition is false, stop the loop. Tips. In almost every for loop you will write, the statement will look something like this. Statement 1 initializes a variable with a starting value, most likely 0. Statement 2 is a condition that checks if that variable is greater than or lesser than some value, and statement 3 increments or decrements the variable by some value, most likely 1. When writing variable names in for loops, the convention is to use short variable names. We use the name I in a for loop if we have another for loop inside of a for loop. The second for loop should use the variable name J. The third should use K, and then L, and then onwards. This is just common convention, and you do not have to follow it if you think there is a better solution. Just remember to keep them as short as possible. Yay, for loops. For loops are mostly used when we need to do a certain number of iterations. They can be useful in situations where you don't know the exact number, but we need to iterate a variable amount of times. For example, we have a variable called length of string. We can use for loops to iterate exactly length of string times. For example, for let I equal 0, if I is less than 5, add 1 to I. Give me 1 second, guys.
Hidden Oath. Hidden Oath has arrived to give my life, Professor. Duck Donnie. Sup Oath.
What? The hell was that, Oath? Did you have a stroke halfway through your sentence there?
Hidden Oath. Sup. Hidden Oath. Donnie.
Yeah, it's a no, dude. Came in and said hi. Donnie and Oath Blaze says hi. Well, I'm just saying it again, so that way Donnie doesn't
Duck
feel
Donnie.
left out.
SMHU show up and he claims you've had a stroke.
You show up and he claims you've had a stroke. I don't know.
Duck Donnie. No respect.
What is you? What is that? What is you? Or was that supposed to be like Hidden Oath has arrived to give you life, Professor? I don't know. I can't even make it make sense. I can't.
Hidden Oath. I am the stroke.
I am the stroke. Well, welcome. Welcome. We try our best here. I'm here to you know, learn how to decipher code, not quite people's conversations sometimes. All right. Where were we? Okay, so we read through that. So for let I equal 0, if I is less than 5, add 1 to I, and then we're console logging that number is, and then calling I. So the output of this code is number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so let's explain how we got this using the 3 steps we read above. Statement 1, aka let I equal 0, is executed. Then we check the condition. Statement 2, if I is less than 5, the condition is true, so we execute the code inside of the loop. And then statement 3 is run, aka add 1 to I, which I now has the value of 1, and then now we check the condition again. Is I less than 5? Add 1 to I until eventually until it gets to 4. When I is 4, we first check the condition. If I is less than 5, it's true because I is 4. The code inside gets executed. Statement 3 runs and I gets incremented to 5. Now we check the condition and see if 5 is less than 5 is false. Code does not get run and loop stops when the condition is false. I'm very sorry. I know I keep stopping and I keep muting. Alright. Okay, so now we check the condition to see if 5 is less than 5. It's false, so it doesn't get executed again. That's why it stops at 4. We can use this to write some interesting programs. Let's say we have a string and want to print it character by character using the .length property. We know exactly how many iterations we need. We use the variable that we increment as an index to get every character. Const message equals hello. Or let I equal 0. If I is less than message.length, add 1 to I. And then we're going to console.log message.
Your words intrigue me, Magic Man.
Your words intrigue me, man. Glad they intrigue somebody at least. As Magic Man, though, I'm just learning the magic, okay? We haven't mastered the magic. We haven't mastered the magic. We can even ask Donnie. Like, you go back to my past 2 days of some of the challenges that I've done. Like, I got really
Donnie.
stuck.
His actions confound me.
Actions confound me. Yeah. Yeah, they're not meant to be got. Alright, so for let I equals 0, if I is less than message.length, add 1 to I, and then we're going to console.log message the character at that index. So it will output H-E-L-L-O. I'm glad there was an O there. I couldn't see it past the chat there. That would have been a little worrisome if it just said hell. Software engineering is the ultimate sin. There wasn't 7 deadly sins, there were 8. You are given a number variable called number. Write a program that loops from 0 to that number, not including, and calculate the sum of all even numbers in that range. Okay.
Duck Donnie. He Yutski gets to use mod. Smiley face.
Stop. I am so tired of using it. It's literally the one thing that I never use. I've been forced to use like 3 times, and I suck at it so much. Yes, I am crazy now. I am crazy now. Calculate the sum of all even numbers in that range. You will have to use a for loop and perhaps an if statement inside the for loop to check if the number is even. Try using math to check if the number is even. If you get stuck, hint 1 will help you with the math. We're going to try not to. We're going to try not to. So we have number that's already done. So for let I equals 0.
Duck Donnie. Donnie can help you with the math, smug face.
Donnie can help me with the math. That is true.
I shall summon the AI overlords at once.
No. We're going to stay away from AI. We're going to stay away from it. I rely on it too much. No AI. I love AI. Don't get me wrong. It really helps me out. But I am trying so hard to not have to use it anymore. Alright. For let I equal 0, if I is less than... Okay, hold up. Given a number variable called number, write a program that loops from 0 to that number. Okay, so if I is less than number, then we're going to add 1 to I. Okay. And then we also need to pass in code. So that starts our loop. But we need to have code for it to if... Okay. If I... Okay. Hold on. That loops from 0 to that number and calculates the sum of all even numbers in that range. You will have to use a for loop and perhaps an if statement. If I... God, I hate this. How can we determine if it's even...
Duck Donnie. 3 lines are remaining in the project, including the if statement.
Thanks, Donnie.
Make me an aura.
Make you an aura? I'm learning coding. Oath, not... I'm learning how to code. I'm not learning how to be a... I don't know, a wizard. God, got Donnie on board now too. Okay, if I...
Duck Donnie. Minus 1 million aura Yutski.
I know. That's like every day. I'm trying to do it without getting the hint. How can I go about this where it checks if it's an even number?
Hidden oath. Era aura.
No.
Duck Donnie. Donnie knows what the hint is, and if the hint doesn't use my hint, then it's wrong.
Donnie's always right. You got it. Fuck it. We ball. Okay. Okay. So see, like, I was thinking divided by 2. So at least my brain was somewhat...
It used Donnie's hint.
It used Donnie's hint. Donnie's smart. Modulo. it returns the remainder from dividing both of the numbers. For example, 10 mod 2 would give you 0.
Donnie.
10 mod 3
No,
would give
that
you
means
1.
the hint is smart, arms crossed.
No, that means the hint is smart? How about you're both smart? You and the hint. Similarly, similarly, 8 mod 2 gives 0, 9 mod 2 gives 1. And an even number divided by 2 has a remainder of 0. So if I modular 2
Duck Donnie.
equals
How dare a mere hint be compared to the Donnie?
0? No, it don't like that. Why doesn't like it? Because I'm an idiot. Equals 0. Then okay.
Hidden
So
oath.
this means that it would be
You
even.
got this, Yutski. Get out of that low ELO mindset.
I'm trying. So if it's even, we need to calculate the sum of all even numbers in
Duck Donnie.
that range.
What oath said?
So we need to... Bro, the hell? Okay. Okay.
Duck Donnie.
And calculate the sum of
The Donnie
all
was
even
wrong. There
numbers.
is an additional line of code needed.
Thank you, Donnie. You will have to... okay, so you're given a number variable called number. Write a program that loops from 0 to that number, not including, and calculates the sum of all even numbers in that range. So if I mod 2 equals 0, that means that it's going to be an even number. So what the hell are we adding? I plus I? That doesn't make any sense. I'm missing something here. My math is off. And then what does it do if it's not an even number?
Duck Donnie. Nothing.
Nothing. So it's not an if-else statement. It's just an if statement. If it equals this, then add something. So what? Do we need like if I mod 2 equals 0? What? No. I don't like where this is going.
Hidden oath. This coding event is brought to you by Raid
Good
Shadow Legends.
Like, comment,
Like,
and
comment,
subscribe.
and subscribe.
I tell you what, probably 75% of that community can do this faster than me.
Duck Donnie. Welcome to Raid Shadow Legends. Police Car Light, are you ready for the ultimate RPG experience? Enter the world of Raid Shadow Legends, where strategy, power, and epic battles collide in the most visually stunning fantasy universe ever. Hidden oath. Help, Donnie is trying to steal my promotion. No means no, Bill Cosby.
What? Donnie's trying to steal your promotion. Oh, it was Donnie that said that. The hell did you
Duck
do?
Donnie.
Copy and paste, Donnie?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What did you do? Okay, I'm still really stuck here. If I modulate by 2 equals 0, do we need to declare another variable, Donnie? I feel like we need to declare another variable.
You have to give me 20 minutes.
Hidden oath. I need an adult. Duck Donnie.
An adult.
But for real, subscribe now and enjoy a weekend of action-packed content and special in-game loot. Duck
Yeah,
Donnie.
I need an additional var.
Yeah, you need an additional var. Quanticus. When in doubt, spawn more variables. What's the worst that could happen?
When in doubt, spawn
Donnie.
more variables. What's
Help,
the worst that
Ski
could
is
happen?
writing in the same line as a comment.
Oh, you didn't like that? You didn't like me writing in the same line as the comment? What if I do that? What if I do that instead?
Duck Donnie. Yutski, why is it a dang string?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Make it not a string. I feel like it's not going to be plus I. I mean, technically, we could do that, can't we? We don't even need to declare it there.
Duck Donnie. Hawk Pikachu.
I don't know if he sent the Pikachu before or after.
Duck Donnie. Never mind, my
Pikachu was too early.
Hidden oath. Program me a key of Twilight.
Program me a key of Twilight? Like...
Hidden oath.
Like the books?
You got this, big Yutski.
Nuh-uh.
Duck Donnie.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
It says nuh-uh. Alright, what are we nuh-uhing? What are we nuh-uhing? Alright, get rid of even. We don't need to declare it there. Yeah? Even equals even plus I.
Duck Donnie. SMH Yutski.
God damn it, Donnie.
Duck Donnie. Put the variable
Put
back.
the variable back. Okay. Alright, let even. Okay. Okay, now are we back in Pikachu status? How Pika is the
Duck
Pikachu?
Donnie. There is only one thing left
Only
to do.
one thing left to do. Okay. So let's backtrack here. So we have a for loop. Let I equal 0. If I is less than number, add 1 to I. And then if I is divisible by 2, or sorry, if I mod 2 equals 0, then we add I to even. Look back at our challenge. You were given a number variable called number. Write a program that loops from 0 to that number, not including, and calculates the sum of all even numbers in that range. you will have to use for loop, perhaps an if statement inside the for loop. Okay. We got a log. Got a log.
Doug Donnie. I was wrong. Undefined variables do indeed not start at 0. There are now 2 remaining things to do.
Okay. I was wrong. Undefined variables do indeed not start at 0. So let even equal 0.
Duck Donnie JS not as nice as other languages.
Duck Donnie is not as nice as other languages. Are you talking about the person's not as
and for
nice?
good reason it shouldn't work that way.
Okay, so we let even equal 0.
I want to be the very best like no one ever was.
Oh god.
To program the missing variables to get this right is my cause. I will travel across the net searching far and wide to understand the science and the hidden oath. Power that's inside.
Okay.
Riffin 1453. BSTVwares on streambo.com. Remove the space at AQLDE60.
How about we remove the bot? How about that? We have the best viewers. We have the best ones. Okay, so we let even equal 0. So even now does have a number. It's 0.
Quanticus. At Duck Donnie, the quirks of dynamic languages.
Quirks of dynamic languages, yeah.
Duck Donnie. The let even good chief fix the console.log though.
Fix the console log. Does it need to be in the
Duck
for loop?
Donnie. At Quanticus real.
Where did I put it? Oh, my bad. My bad.
Duck Donnie. Yutski, you got this. Look at your expected output.
Yuski, you got this. Look at your expected output. Yeah, 2,450. What the fuck is that about? How does this work?
Duck Donnie.
Okay, we got a Pikachu. We didn't necessarily get the answer that we wanted, but we got a Pikachu. Pikachu tells me I got it. Okay, so I will say this: a big downfall for loops, and I'll be completely honest. One of my biggest downfalls of for loops, and I always had this issue, is I do tend to not understand where the console log goes if I need to console log something. So somebody probably will have to correct me quite a few times until I finally get it. But in my defense, I did click on the curly brackets like I do in VS Code.
Do you have other voice options? I prefer to sound like a sultry British lady.
Like a sultry British lady. Currently I only have 2. But we will be rebuilding. I did build a chat reader once. They didn't have any voices in it or anything, but it was on my old hard drive. But I do plan on rebuilding one, and then, you know, we can see what we can do for like AI voices and stuff.
Answer: if you need to print multiple things, it goes inside the loop. If you need to print one thing, it goes outside.
Okay, answer: if you need to print multiple things, it goes inside of the loop. If you need to print one thing, it goes outside. Okay, thank you, Donnie. That's a real good one right there.
Duck Donnie.
Real good answer. I like that. This is the best I can do for you. Try it now. Quanticus. By the way, welcome to the stream. Welcome. I'm so sorry. Very rude of me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that your day is going well, just like everybody else's. Oath, I hope your day has been going swell. Oh god, it's so weird. I've heard it as a guy. I've heard it as a guy for so long.
Quanticus is based.
It just sounds weird. It sounds wrong. But I hope y'all's day has been going good. I hope it's been productive. In any way. We did a lot of door dashing today, so we had a pretty productive day today.
Duck Donnie. Airplane noises.
Airplane noises. I hope you're not hinting that you hear airplane noises.
Duck Donnie.
Nyam.
Hidden Oath. That's Ashton Kutcher, by the way.
That's Ashton Kutcher, by the way.
Duck Donnie.
A lesbian gay man is Ashton Kutcher?
Duck Donnie. All lesbian gay men
All
are.
lesbian gay men are Ashton Kutcher. This fucking chat is weird sometimes. I missed you guys. Break and continue. We've used the break keyword when we want to stop a loop from inside of the loop. We can use it in every type of loop. The break keyword should be used in a if statement or any other way of checking if a condition is true. If we just write break in the loop, it will stop after first iteration. That's why you will most likely see it in statements. For example, for let I equal 0, if I is less than 5, add 1 to I. If I does absolutely equal 3, then break. Console.log current number is plus I. This loop would stop when the counter variable's value gets to 3. Continue keyword, the continue statement jumps over one iteration in the loop. In a while loop, it jumps back to the condition. For example, see, we're reaching some new stuff here that I didn't know about. I don't know if it's like, if new is really the right word, because it's probably stuff that a lot of people know. But like, our boot camp skipped over, I think, 3 things that we've learned so far.
Donnie. It's just lesser used stuff. Quanticus. This interactive tut seems good.
It's pretty decent. I can say I've been enjoying the experience so far. It definitely, in my opinion, it has quite a few good challenges to really test the brain. But my only pet peeve that I have, like, just like I always explain, like, this isn't a sponsor thing. I'm not sponsored by Coddy or anything. I'm doing this by, you know, my own choice, my own free will. My only complaint that I have about it is you can only run code a certain amount of times for free. A day. I better put that a day part in there. You can only run code a certain amount of times for free a day. Then you have to wait for the next day, or you have to pay for the premium, which the premium prices actually really aren't that bad
Duck
either.
Donnie. Just run it in your brain
Just run it in
day.
your brain first. Duh. Yeah. We'll get there eventually, right? Eventually I'll be able to run code in my brain. I mean, like, technically for some of it, I could run it in VS Code, and I'd be like, yep, I got the right answer. Like, you know, so to some people it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but like I try and keep it just strictly with the resources that Coddy has available.
Oh, no wonder it's a fancy paid one. I am a cheapskate.
It's a fancy paid
Duck
one. I'm a
Donnie.
cheapskate.
Nah, but that's lame. Use your head.
Use your head. Use your head. Quanticus, I mean, other than that, I haven't found a single thing on Coddy that you got to pay for. Like, the whole courses are actually free. The whole course itself. And you can go next. Like, if it's something you know for a fact you got right, like, you can just keep going on through. It doesn't matter. So, you know, bear that in mind. All of it is open. I tried quite a few of them. where like they make it seem like it's free at first, and then you get into it, and then like 2-3 hours later, it's like, in order to continue the session, become a member. And it's like, man, that's really annoying, because some of them you learn in a really cool way.
Skipping would trigger me. I'm a 100%
Skipping would trigger me.
completionist.
I'm a 100% completionist. Well, you're not skipping them. You just can't run them to verify they're correct. So you're not skipping it. You're just unsure if it's correct, unless if you like really know what you're doing, of course. But like for me, for instance, if I run out of tries, I end the stream that day.
I wonder if you can use the cheat method where you can code it so it emails you the hidden cases and then hard code them to work.
Okay, hold up. I wonder if you can use the cheat method where you can code it so it emails you the hidden cases and then hard code them to work. You mean like use like the IDE to set it up to email me the cases? That'd be pretty crazy. Continue keyword. The continue statement jumps over one iteration in the loop in a while loop. It jumps back to the condition.
Donnie. So basically whenever
it throws
in the hidden cases into your code, you code it so it emails the variable that's passed in.
I mean, to be honest, that's pretty out of the box thinking. So I don't really see why it wouldn't, right? Because they're gonna have tests like in the back end that we can't see that are going to be checking for certain things, but I doubt that they have something in there that would prevent somebody from coding out a whole source or a whole block of code that emails you things that you need. I don't know, Donnie. Give it a shot. It's free. Go for it. You just only have a certain amount of tries you can do a day, but that's something interesting for sure. Like counter equals 0.
He.
By the way, if there's anybody new here, please do make sure to hit the follow button. We're on YouTube as well, so you can sub, give a thumbs up. We have a comment at the end of the day challenge where, you just leave a comment on the question that we have each day. It's just something fun to do. But you can catch the VODs there each and every single day. So this kind of helps really track the progress of everything. It'll definitely show if stuff like this is worth it for most people. We're going to be moving into free code camp. We're going to work on projects together in the future. So it's definitely something to consider. I may have graduated from a boot camp, but I am by far from a professional. I am still very amateur in my coding. There's still a lot of basics that I need to learn. So yeah, so this will be like a good way for us to be able to reflect on, all of the things that I've learned.
Donnie. Today's challenge.
Today's challenge, yell at Yutsuki. Why are we going to yell at me? What did I do? Let counter equals 0. While counter is less than 10, add 1 to counter. If counter is less than 5, continue. What? If counter is less than 10, add 1 to counter. But if counter is less than 5, continue.
Quanticus. I heard boot camps are not great at establishing the basics.
They aren't. I can 100% attest to that. I think that the boot camp that I did okay with going over basics. I will say okay at least. But a lot of it is really pressure related. It's really the pressure of compressing so much information all at one time. It's definitely rough. The boot camp that I went to, we were promised resources that we never got. We were promised that we would have a mentor, but wasn't explained that we would have a new mentor like every other month. not even, like every other week, because they were getting fired. And then we would have to wait like a month and a half for another mentor. They made it sound like they were actually going to successfully. Were you asking me for help?
Donnie.
Oh,
Loki, if you are just wanting to learn YouTube or W3 schools is the way to go.
Yeah. Now, Donnie, I did a lot of YouTube, though. I ran through a lot of tutorial hell, which is why we're changing it up a little bit. But this will make it so that way, like, in the future, like, say, like, 5-6 months from now, if I have a question, like, if I can't think of how to do something, I will physically have a video of me doing it where I can go back and just go reference that instead. I think that would really help. This would output 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I understand what it's doing now. So if the counter is less than 5, continue. So we're not gonna console log anything until it reaches 5. First counter is 0, the loop starts, and the counter gets incremented to 1, but we get to the if statement that checks if the counter is less than 5. 1 is less than 5, so the continue executed, and we go back to the condition 1. Is still less than 10, so the loop starts again. Counter is incremented to 2. 2 is less than 5, so continue the condition. This keeps happening until the counter gets to 5 when the values start getting printed. The continue keyword doesn't get executed if the counter is 5 or more. Writing clean loops. There are some tips you should keep in mind when writing loops. Don't create infinite loops. Yep, don't do that. I had a friend that I graduated with, Sam. He created an infinite loop and it was hilarious. Be especially careful of this when writing while and do while loops. Make sure to have something in the code inside of the loop that changes and that will make the condition false after some iterations. If you make an infinite loop, your program will crash and your whole computer might freeze as well, which happened to him. Write for loops instead of a while loop. If you need a loop where the main goal of the loop is to have a variable that gets incremented every iteration, don't use while loops. Instead of writing a while loop with a condition like I is less than 5, and then have I incremented inside of the while loop, just write a for loop instead. Avoid loops. This might sound weird, but the less loops you have, the better. It is important for our program to fulfill its task, but it's also important for it to be fast. Loops are very slow. Try to use as little loops as possible, but definitely use them when necessary.
Infinite bands.
The only infinite loop I want are infinite bands. You know, I feel it. I feel it out.
Quanticus. I'm a loop goblin. Loops everywhere.
You're a loop goblin, Quanticus? I couldn't even imagine being a loop goblin. I do try and avoid loops. I do try and avoid loops, if I can. Avoid nested loops. Nested loops are loops inside of one another. If the first loop does n iterations and the second one does k iterations, together they'll do n times k iterations. This is slow, so try to use them as little as possible. Of course, sometimes you have to use them, and that is okay. Write as little code as possible inside of the loop. Again, loops are pretty slow, so the less code inside of the loop, the better. Make sure to declare the variables you will use inside the loop outside of the loop to avoid pesky bugs. Any logic that can be done outside of the loop should be done. Any logic that can be done outside of the loop should not be done inside of the loop. I heard you loops, so I put a loot inside your loop. I heard you loops, so I put a loot inside your loop. Yes. Oh, it's another rehearsal. Where's my mom's at? Where's my mom's? Hello? It's another rehearsal. I need my mom's. Oh, you're here? Well, yeah, it's a rehearsal.
I'm a mom.
You gotta be there for the rehearsal, Mom. Our challenge is you are given a number called num. Using a do while loop, print all of the numbers smaller than the number until you reach 0. Well, okay, hold up. I can't see because of the chat again. Alright, move you over there. I should have done that a while ago. You are given a number called num. Use a do while loop.
Hidden oath. Quanticus, the only loop around here is you brain, you loop a loop.
Is your brain looping? Why are we being mean to the new person? Okay. You are given a number called num. Using a do while loop, print all the numbers smaller than the number until you reach 0. Use a do while loop, or you will fail some test cases. Print the numbers with a new line in between. Console log adds a new line in the by default. I don't think this "the" is supposed to be there, and it's bothering me. Like, trying to read that out loud sounds very silly. Okay.
Hidden oath. He's one of us.
He's one of us.
He's
He
earned
earned
it.
it. He earned it. You hear that, Quanticus? You earned it. You're already one of us.
Hidden oath. Of asterisk.
I understood what you meant. You are given a number called num. Use a do while loop. I don't even remember how to do a do while loop. Do. I don't remember. Alright, while loops. These are while loops. Where's our do while loops? Switch. Where did we learn do while? Right. Do this while this.
Hidden oath.
Okay.
You got this, twink, don't give up.
Do this while this. Okay. The fuck out. Okay, so it's do this while this. So we need it to print all of the numbers.
Quanticus. Do while is the same as a while, except you guarantee at least one iteration.
Oh, so since you missed yesterday's, since you're new, so just in case if you're wondering why I struggle with do and while.
Yos ready Yutski Ima be lurkin.
You're good, Donnie.
Do something.
You're good, Donnie. Thank you. The reason why the for loop kind of came a little bit better than do while is back on that subject of going through the boot camp. We didn't do while. We didn't do while, and we didn't do while. We only did for loop. so trying to think of how those came together. Okay, so do print all the numbers smaller than the number until you reach 0. So while
Quanticus. They come up pretty rarely. Restream.io.
while num
Trophy,
is greater than 0.
congratulations. You've received
Hey,
100
we
messages
reached
today
100
with
messages
Restream
today
chat.
with Restream chat. I think we made it earlier today than we did yesterday, so that's really good. Everybody give yourself a pat on the back. That's awesome. I know it seems like such a minor thing, you know, that everybody's kind of just chit-chatting back and forth. But it's definitely a lot bigger than it feels. I'm always super excited to see that we get a, you know, like a little trophy, a little reward for, you know, being able to chat so much. So that's a good thing. Okay, so we need it to do this while num is greater than 0. So I think that part is good. We just need to do the do part. So do. So obviously it's going to be 7.
Quanticus.
So num.
It's bigger than it feels. That's what she said.
That's. Don't be twisting things around, Quanticus. That would be such an insult. That would be horrible. So decrement num and console log
Hidden oath.
num.
Too bad she never said it to you.
What? Why? Why are you attacking me? Oath is over here attacking me. So I was saying congrats to everything. Quanticus over here quoted, "It's bigger than it feels," and then said, "That's what she said, question mark. And then Oath is over here going, "Too bad she never said it to you." Oath is over here attacking me today. So we decrement num, because num is going to pass in 7, so that's going to make it go to 6.
Hidden oath.
For each time that num is greater
Hidden
than
oath.
0.
Quanticus.
Okay, our output was 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. Okay, so we were a number over, and we're a number under.
Hidden oath. Tell the bird I love the stimulating soundtrack.
Sorry. I'm sorry, she just wants to say hi to you. Okay, so we got it to increment down, and we got it to print for each one. I already see the issue. Already see the issue. Part of the issue. So we don't want it to hit 0. So change that to a 1. No. Okay, so it was right at 0. I just had my stuff on order. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's what it was. And I did that last time too. I did that wrong in our last loop as well. We decremented before console logging, so we ended up getting 1 digit away. I'd say that was pretty quick. Why did it go all the way back to this one? What the hell happened there? Okay. Alright, guys, give me 1 second.
Hidden oath. BTW, how is everyone Yutski? How the kids, dogs, cats, ferrets and Blaze?
By the way, how is everyone, Yutski? How are the kids, dogs, cats, ferrets, and Blaze? Blaze is alive, as you can hear.
Okay.
She's definitely not dead. Definitely not replaced by a robot or AI that I may or may not have coded. Bleep bloop. That was me. I bleep blooped. The kids are doing great. They've been, you know, kids that are online schooled, so about as happy as they can be. Dogs, they have been interesting. That's the best way I can put that. Ferrets, I haven't owned a single ferret since long before I streamed. So, rest in peace, ferret. And Donnie's AFK at the moment, too, so. What are arrays?
And yet you can't make me an aura excuses.
Yet you can't make me an aura? Like, how do you want me to do that? How do you want me to make you an aura? Arrays are one of the most important concepts in JavaScript. You'll use them all the time in simple terms. Arrays are lists. Lets you say what you want to store a list of all points students scored on a test. Let's say you want to store it. You would use an array for that. Arrays in JavaScript look like 52, 21, 92, 86, 82, 90, 57, 29 inside of brackets. You can declare an empty array and add or remove elements as needed. We can also use arrays to loop through them and access all the values one by one. Doing this with single variables one by one would be very hard. We'll cover how to declare arrays, add and remove.
Arrays are goat in general.
That's what I've heard. So, like, there are quite a few things that I can do, but I have a hard time figuring out
Hidden oath.
not so much how to
You
use
better
them,
get
but
you
where
Harold
to use
Howrick
them.
Programming skills up.
You better get your Harold Howrick programming skills up. That's an interesting statement there, Oath.
Hidden oath. Do my references mean nothing to you? Sad
Yeah.
crying emoji.
Yeah, I didn't get that last reference. I'm sorry, Oath. We will cover how to declare arrays, add and remove variables, which I know was push and pop. And more in a later section. For now, we'll focus on what arrays are and their logic. Let's say we have an array variable called ARR, which I'll just say array from here on out. We will give array the value cat, dog, turtle, rabbit, tiger. So how can we access the individual values inside of an array? Well, we can do it using an index. Every value in an array has an index. The indexes start from 0 and count up. The first element has an index of 0. The second element has an index of 1. The third element has an index of 2, and so on.
Hack who created Aura? Who is her metaphorical daddy?
Give me 1 second. I gotta rotate a dog out real quick. Give me 1 sec.
Hidden oath. Okay, I'm done, I promise.
Oh, you're good, Oath. You haven't been bothering nothing. Dot hack who created Aura. Who is her metaphorical daddy? I'm guessing that was Harold Howarick. Say we have an array. So yeah. Now we can use the index to access the value using bracket notation. We can use brackets to access the elements in the array. For example, in the array cat, dog, turtle, rabbit, tiger. We can use the indexes in the following way. Array 0 would give us the element cat. Array 1 would give us dog, turtle, rabbit, tiger. You are given an array called array. Your job is to print the second element in the array, then print the third element as well. So console log array. Your job is to print the second element. Then print the third. Ba-dum! All right, everyone. Well, that should have been my last submit that I can do for the day. Just like I said, we kind of want to get everything a little bit more in line first before we pay for the premium. If we can get more people supporting on YouTube, helping by watching the VODs, maybe some people willing to make some clips of some funny moments. Like sometimes we're just chatting back and forth and just, talking about funny subjects. So if we can get clips, if we can get, more people subscribing on YouTube or giving thumbs up or, more viewer retention, anything of the sort, more follows on Twitch, or even just, a few people in like today, like I feel like we already did a pretty decent job. We went from 2 to a constant 5 today. So I'm actually pretty happy, with that 5. If we can keep that constant 5, it only goes up from there. So I do want to thank you all so much for coming in today and hanging out with me. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up icon, and in the comments, why don't you give me your favorites, I don't know, your favorite activity that you do other than coding, if you're a coder, because, like everybody's coming here for coding. That one's going to be a little bit obvious.
I'll try to get my subs interested.
Try to get your subs interested. You got it. You got it. And just like I explained in the past streams too, like this isn't all that we're going to be doing. Daytime is going to be typically code, and then nighttime is going to be typically gaming. So, we'll definitely get there.